Good morning. Welcome back to Dear Twin Flame. It's Monday morning of a long weekend, and yesterday was a bust. So I should have gone on Saturday. I should have gone to the beach because Sunday we got rained out. It really sucks. And looks like today's gonna be not a beach day either. Which, okay, whatever. Anyway, hi, good morning. It's fairly early on Monday. And I went to bed fairly late last night. I couldn't sleep again. Too much on my mind, I guess. And then bright and early, the neighbor kids started screaming, which is always so joyful. Not. Anyway, I just felt the need to say good morning, and I don't really have anything to share. I did some painting yesterday. That was exciting. I don't know what it looks like yet. We'll see after it's dried. I think that's why I woke up as much as I did, was I want to go out and check and see how it turned out. Feeling kind of crappy because I ate crap yesterday, like a lot of crap yesterday. The kids made cookies and ate too much of that, and then so my body's like, do something good for yourself. So I'm gonna get up and take the dog for a walk and show myself some love instead of abuse. And yeah, tonight's the full moon. Whoosh. Wow, it's amazing what you notice when you're laying in bed staring at the ceiling. Apparently I need to clean my fan. It's pretty bad. Sorry, distracted. Was just saying, full moon tonight. Yeah, so I'm gonna have some people over to welcome that in, and heading to London tomorrow because the kids have uniform fitting, and to go to Costco for my monthly, here's my bank account. Sorry, here's your opportunity to drain my bank account. It's not so much fun. Sorry about the camera. Going to the Mandela bookstore tomorrow. That should be good. Trying to find information on druidry. And what else am I doing? Oh, excuse me. Oh, do I have my notebook? Oh, it's downstairs again. Can't even share any notes today because it's downstairs. There's something else I was going to share, but I can't remember. I'll be back. Okay, I remembered. So, two things actually. The first was I've spent my weekend trying to figure out whether or not I send my kids back to school. There's quite the debate going on. I put it on Facebook, and as many responses as there could be, that's what I'm getting. So it's really no help and no guidance. Teachers that I know are just as far spread as parents that I know. Parents of special needs kids are like all over the map, and it's just so hard to decide what to do with them. Sorry. Makes my brain hurt. I just don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if there even is a right answer. It's very I don't know. I just don't know what to do. And yeah, we're going tomorrow to buy uniforms, so hopefully we send them back to school at some point, or else this is going to be a waste of money. Oh, I know. Twin flame knowledge. That's what I wanted to share. It was interesting because one of the things that I always question myself about is whether or not when I get messages, whether it's just wishful thinking on my part or whether it's actual messages. And how do you know if it's just looking for confirmation or if it's actual confirmation? And I found this article, how do you know you're really on a twin flame journey and it's not just confirmation bias, which is just, looking for it yourself and it's not actually messages from a higher source, whatever that looks like. Basically there are two entirely different things. However, it wouldn't be difficult for the confirmation bias to impact us in some way during our journey. Twin flame journey is a spiritual path aspect of one's twin flame experience and connection. Everyone has an experience on their journey that is expressly unique to them. It's a spiritual phenomenon. The confirmation bias is the term used to describe cognitive bias, which encompasses the tendency to seek out interpret and recall information that supports confirmation of a particular belief versus to reject it. It plays a role in the way we gather and process information. For example, if the confirmation bias, let's say there is a fire, and because of that fire they call out 2 inspectors to investigate, the confirmation bias might play a role here. For example, an arson investigator will find arson, while the electrician on site will find something was faulty with the wiring. Another example would be to know someone who drives a certain type of car, let's say a blue Honda. You'll notice more blue Hondas because perhaps this person is somehow on your mind, even subconsciously. So that's my question, is that when I see your vehicle everywhere, or a vehicle that looks like yours, am I just looking for it subconsciously, or is it actually speaking to me? So, excuse my morning voice. For now, an example that could affect twin flames. Sorry, my arm's getting tired. Now, for an example that could affect twin flames, let's say you're in a place in your ascension where you begin to see the synchronicities that has always existed within the great universe. Let's say that you begin to notice your twin's name everywhere now. You could reasonably be seeing the name for several reasons. One, you could notice their name more because they're on your mind, and because they're on your mind, either consciously or subconsciously. Two, it could be mere happenstance and synchronicity that exists within the universe. Or three, it could be synchronicity specifically for you, a message of divine guidance. Using your ability of discernment will be the key to knowing the difference between what is sync and what you're noticing, because it's simply the way we gather and process information, correlating to other information that we recall at the time. So how do we know the difference between biased and non-biased ideas, and how do we help ourselves to migrate through the cognitive biases? Using one's ability to discern is key. We all have common sense and the gift of discernment. Here are some points which help understand the differences in what we see as we act as actual fact versus confirmation bias, along with some techniques to de-bias. So there's a whole whack of them. I think there's 9 of them in total. So I'm going to read them, but then I want to talk about what I realized in this process. Because this is something I learned about a while ago, so I do question myself and regularly look deeper into why things have come up to me. 1. Understand the direct impact of desire on belief motivated by wishful thinking, and the difference between self-deception in wishful thinking or magical thinking versus the actual facts we receive. In other words, while there's nothing at all wrong with wishful thinking, we all do it, we want to know the difference between our wishes and our reality. 2. Sorry. I should put my glasses on too. I might be able to see better. 2. Understand that sometimes self-deception can be a giant cotton ball absorbing the pain of a harsh reality and preventing us from being hit by it. We've all been there at some point or another. Sometimes it helps to cherry pick the information and look at it with our rational, logical class, with our rational and logical class. Sorry, rather than look at it. Whatever. The ability to view our surroundings and world absent of the need to seek out instances that please our ego builds true self-confidence by nature. Be a cautious skeptic regarding search engines, the internet. The algorithms are so perfect at this point that if we're seeking out supporting evidence on any subject matter, we will always find something. 5. Sometimes when we want to kick a bias, it's helpful to consider whether the opposing position is whatever the opposing position is, and carry them around for a moment. See how it feels. Does it resonate with you at all? If so, how much? Doing so will open your mind and help with objectivity. 6. Understand the bias. Oh man, I get weak in my old age, or just it's awkward. I should get out of bed. 6. Understand the bias. How it works can. Did I say no? How it works can also help. Challenge avoidance. When we, as an individual, doesn't want to admit something's wrong, and reinforcement seeking when we want a confirmation that we are right. There are 2 primary mechanisms related to confirmation bias. This means we want to remove information that lacks support of our beliefs. Yeah, okay, got it. 7. Try not to form a firm idea in your. Try not to form a firm idea in your mind about a certain subject too early on. Once we form an idea, we often seek to confirm it whether we want it or not. Number 8, look to process information you're taking in a manner that isn't emotionally charged. We tend to seek to minimize the cognitive dissonance experienced by rejecting contradictory information. 5. Understand and remember that one person's truth or experience might not be your same truth or experience. I kind of talked about this in the shamanism stuff too. Everybody's interpretation of the past and their presumption of the future is all based on their own experience, and therefore nothing is true and everything is true. We are all equal as human beings, yet we are all unique and different in our own right. Your truth may be one thing, while another may experience something totally different as their truth. Things are not all black and all white. There's many shades of gray. If your truth is different from someone else's, this doesn't mean that your truth is somehow wrong, or even slightly more wrong than theirs, or that their truth is wrong or more wrong in some ways in comparison to yours. Everyone has their own truth, and we must be respectful of everyone's truth. For example, the butterflies might, to me, mean my twin flame is about to call. For someone else, it can mean a great change is about to happen. Everyone's truth is different. And last but not least, there are 10. One of the most important aspects regarding twin flames and discernment, at least in this writer's humble opinion, is the ability to rely on your sense of knowing. We know what's within us. We know our twin. All human beings have discernment, so you can rely on your ability to know what's true versus what isn't. There may be all sorts of confirmation surrounding you, or lack thereof. Your truth, though, is in your soul. So I've had lots of experiences where I think, is this in my head, or am I looking for this, or am I wishing for this? And so therefore I'm seeing it. Like, if I'm missing you, am I seeing your truck more just because you're on my mind and I'm, on a subconscious level looking for you? And then there's other times where, yes, sometimes I can see that happening. But then there's other times when it's like I'm being smacked in the face by the universe. I had an experience, and I'm not sure if I recorded this before or not. I might have a while ago, where I was traveling with a friend, and I was kind of daydreaming. And they made a comment, and they were talking about their boss from work. And their boss from work shares your name, but I wasn't really paying attention to the conversation, and they said your name, and I was like, "What did you say?" And they repeated themselves, and I was like, it was like your name drew me out of this, like, whatever, and I was like, it just really got my attention. And then the person went on talking, and I immediately looked to my like outside the car because we were driving, and I saw your last name on a building sign, and that's just not cool. That's not me looking for it. That's pay attention, right? This is something you need to know. And I can't even remember what it was about, to be honest, what the conversation was about, but it was like the universe reaching out and saying, pay attention, this is something you need to know. And it was in regards to you. I mean, the conversation wasn't, but the statement was for me about you, and then I needed to hear it. It was interesting. It was a very weird experience. But that trip, I had multiple instances of that, because in my truth, I shouldn't have gone on that trip. I mean, I did, and it was fine. There was reasons I needed to go, and there was big reasons that I shouldn't have gone in the manner that I did. And it was like your 5D was yelling at me to... It was funny, though, because it got to a point where it was like... I went with an old friend, a guy I used to date. No intention of having any kind of relationship with him. Made that very clear. Just as friends going on this trip. The whole trip up, where it was clear that he was hopeful that there was... that his expectations might happen. I was at, like, not why I was there. It wasn't going to happen. And it made that very clear. I was very honest about it. But it was as if your 5D self, or the universe, or whomever, was trying to remind me that I was very clear about what that weekend was going to look like. And as soon as it got to a point where, yes, those lines were definitely in the sand, that this wasn't happening, it's like all that backed off. But the whole trip up, there was just one sign after another sign of another sign, bringing you to the forefront of my brain, which it was just entertaining. And it happens a lot. So I am constantly asking myself, okay, is this me because I'm looking for you, or is this the universe trying to give me a message? And I have to look deeper and find that truth. And sometimes absolutely it's just me, and then other times it's absolutely not. And it's pretty cool how that works. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that because it came up in my feed. So we're getting long here again. I will sign off and say I hope you enjoyed your weekend. I hope, whatever it looked like for you, it was good for your soul. And take care on this full moon. And remember, emotions will be running high, so breathe through and talk from love and not from anger. Until next time, dear twin flame, as always, you have all my love for all my life.